Assalamu alaikum. So today we are going to discuss the ulnar nerve. So first of all we will see a brief introduction of this nerve and then we will draw this nerve on the skeleton. So this ulnar nerve, it is the branch of the medial cord of the brachial plexus. Medial cord of the brachial plexus, and its nerve root values are C7, C8 and the T1, but mainly there are these two, C8 and T1. The C7 is an exceptional case, and it supplies the forearm muscles, anterior side, and mainly it supplies the muscles of hand. So now we will draw this ulnar nerve here, and it will splice in the forearm, not in the arm region. Okay, so here it will come from the medial cord of the brachial plexus, and then it will descend medial to this humerus bone. Here it will pass posterior to this. This is the medial epicondyle, and it will pass posterior to this medial epicondyle, and it will enter the cubital fossa. Then it will exit from the cubital fossa like this. It will move inferiorly, and it will pass superficial to this flexor reticulum like this, and here it will pass deep. We will discuss this in detail, and after passing through it will divide into two branches, and these branches will be the superficial branch, and this one will be the deep branch. And this was the ulnar nerve. So now we will see the detail of its course. So in the arm region, here it will be medial to the brachial artery. This will be the brachial artery. Then in the middle of this arm, it will pass the medial intermuscular septum. To go to deep into the arm, and during this it will be accompanied by the superior ulnar collateral artery, which is the branch of this brachial artery, and this one will be the superior ulnar collateral artery. Which is the branch of this brachial artery. And now at this point when it is passing posterior to this medial epicondyle, here this medial epicondyle, it is referred as the funny bone. And at this point this nerve is vulnerable to the injuries. Then it will move into this region is the cubital fossa, and it will exit from the cubital fossa by passing between the two heads of a muscle, the flexor carpi ulnaris. There will be two heads, one which will be coming on the posterior side of the ulna, and one will be from the anterior side of the ulna, and it will pass between these two heads to exit from this fossa, and it will also supply this muscle. This is the flexor carpi ulnaris muscle, and it will also supply this muscle. Then it will also give one more muscular branch in the arm, and that muscular branch will be to the flexor digitorum profundus. Flexor digitorum profundus to the ulnar part of these muscles, means to say to the fourth and the fifth digit. So here in the arm it will only give innervation to these two muscles, the flexor carpi ulnaris and the flexor digitorum profundus. And before entering to the before passing through this flexor retinaculum, here it will give the dorsal and the palmar cutaneous branches. So this will be the palmar cutaneous branch, and that branch it will also move superficial to this flexor retinaculum, and it will splice in relation to the medial side of the palm. This is the palmar cutaneous branch. It will splice the medial side of the palm, and then it will give one more one, which will be the dorsal cutaneous, that will move on the dorsal side. We will see that here. This was the dorsal cutaneous. And this dorsal cutaneous, it will splice the medial side of the hand, means to say the fourth and the fifth digit, like this. It will splice these areas. It will supply half of the fourth region. Only half of the this will be supplied by this dorsal cutaneous branch. Then after passing superficial to this flexor retinaculum, it will pass between these two bones. This is the pisiformis bone, and this one is the hamate bone. And it will pass between these two bones, and this is actually the extension of this flexor retinaculum, and it will bridges this, and it will convert it into the ulnar canal, and it will pass then deep to this canal, or it is also called the Gaon canal. Gaon canal. After passing through this ulnar canal, it will divide into the superficial and the deep branches. The superficial branch, it will be the cutaneous branch, and the deep branch, it will be the muscular branch. So first of all, we will see the superficial branch. So this superficial branch, it will splice half of the fourth digit and the fifth digit, like this. It will splice the ulnar side of the fourth digit, and it will splice the fifth digit also, like this. And this, which is the deep branch, it will be completely muscular, and now it will splice several muscles. We will see those muscles one by one. It will splice the hypothenar muscles, it will splice the lumbricals, it will splice the adductor pollicis, it will splice the flexor pollicis brevis, and it will splice the interossei. Now we will label these muscles here. This will be to the, this one will be to the hypothenar, which consists of the abductor digiti minimi, flexor digiti minimi, and the opens digiti, these three muscles. And then this will be to the lumbricals, the medial two lumbricals, not to all lumbricals, medial two lumbricals. Then it will splice to adductor pollicis muscle, then it will splice to the deep head of the flexor pollicis brevis, and at last it will splice the interossei muscles. These all muscles are the muscles of the hand on the palmar side, okay, and in the interosseous spaces. So this is whole the course of the ulnar nerve, and its main branches: the superficial branch, the deep branch, and its cutaneous branch is the palmar cutaneous branch and the dorsal cutaneous branch, and also its point where it is called as the funny bone, and also its relations with several arteries in the arm region. Thank you.